We live in a world where we have fast moving trains, and we have fast foods, and we have all kinds of um, modern technology that make things very fast for us. And I bet you in the coming years things are going to be faster than what you see today. They are going to be far faster. I mean, as in what you call fast now, so many years to come will be considered as being slow. Despite all this, there are certain things that do not change. And one of such things is growth. Growth takes time. There's this story of two friends. As is the case with us in Nigeria, people move from their villages to town, to big cities to look for opportunities and so on and so forth. There were these two friends who moved to Lagos, and they were, trying to earn a living. They took jobs, day jobs. They would go to assist in buildings and all that. They were paid on daily basis, and they were earning money. From there they will leave, go take other jobs like work in a company, all these temporary workers and all that. They were earning money every day, At the end of the day, they come back with some cash and all that. It was fun, it was wonderful for them, and life was going on well. So among the two friends, one decided that he wants to go back to school. The friend who they were living together now said to him, "Why are you going to school? You want to go to school to get a degree? We're already making some money and sustaining ourselves. What do you need a degree for?" The young man who wanted to go to school said, "Well, I have a bigger dream for my life. I don't just want to end with getting jobs every day, getting paid. I'm looking at something bigger." And his friend said to him, "You want to go and spend all those many years in school? You spend 4 years to get a degree, you go through jam, you go through all those things and just to get a degree and all that. You want to spend all that number of years?" Well, his friend's mind was made up, and he decided to go back. Left him in Lagos and then went back to school. Went through the rigor of getting admission. He got admitted, went to the university, and started studying for his degree. And with time, he got through his degree, and he served as a corporal, and then was able to get a part-time job. Then after a while, he got an opportunity to work in the federal civil service, and he worked as a federal worker and all that, and his pay was good, his pay was wonderful, and he lived a better life actually. While this other his friend who remained doing jobs where he was at Lagos, after a while those jobs, he was relieved in the place he was doing those jobs, and then he moved to other places, and he continued. After a while, he had to come back to the village and try to make a meaning for his life and all that. But comparing their lives, with time, the one who decided to come back and go to school fared better off than the one who remained taking jobs here and there. There's nothing bad taking jobs, but the point is this: while you're doing that, are you having a long-term plan for yourself? Are you saving? Are you planning to do something that, because you can't do jobs for life? Are you preparing for a time when you will not be able to do jobs, or when you don't get that place where you're working, maybe the company you're working, if they relieve you, what are your plans? Now there's something I want to underline here. His friend who decided to go to school, when he put up this plan, discussed it with his friend, the friend said to him, he said, "You want to go to school, you want to spend all that number of years." Look, I want to tell you something about life. Growth takes time. If you want to do anything of value in life, it will take time. Forget about people who tell you their story as if everything just happened overnight. Nothing of value you want to build in life will just happen just within the twinkle of an eye. Growth will take time. Trust We build trust over time. Relationships take time to grow. Wounds heal over time. The question is, are you ready to put in the amount of work that is required to enable that growth to take place in the required manner? Because there is time that is required for whatever thing of value you want to do for it to grow. If you want to build a house, you will have to lay the foundation. If someone wants to build a story building, of course, those in the architecture or those who are into building and all that will know better that you have to dig a deeper foundation for a story building. If you want to build a story building, you require a deeper foundation. But if you just want to build a bungalow, you may not require a foundation that is as deep as somebody who wants to build a story building. That is the same thing that applies to us in life. If you want to build something of value, you will need to dig the foundation. You need to prepare the ground where it is going to stay. And during this process, it requires effort. It requires persistence. It requires a lot of energy. Sometimes, it may look as if nothing is happening. Just take a look at someone who is laying foundation. When the foundations are being laid, it's as if nothing is showing up. Nothing is happening. You look at the buildings as if it has remained on the same level. No, but something very important is happening. That is a critical stage of the building, and once you get it wrong there, every other thing is going to have a problem. Let's take for example, you want to be an artist, you want to be a singer, you want to be a musical artist. Oftentimes we just find out that someone who just want to just in the common way we say it around here in Nigeria, along the street, people always say you want to blow. By that they mean you want to be popular, you want to be known, and you want to grow in your art. You want to be known very well, but that does not happen overnight. First of all, you have to master your craft. You have to devote time to increase in your skill. You have to devote time to study your skill, to practice. You have to devote time to get more knowledge. You have to devote time also to love the skill. You have to love what you're doing, and with time you are going to grow in that. And then as you grow, you get more experience and all that. So growth takes time. Let that sink into your mind. Let that sink into our mind, that growth requires time, and we need that time to grow whatever thing we are doing. It does not happen overnight. Somebody wants to begin a business. You just want to begin a $1 million business. It doesn't happen that way. You have to start small. For instance, let me ask you this question. You want to begin a $1 million business. Are you ready for the challenges that come with a $1 million business? You may not have been prepared for that. But when you begin small, you have times you will fail, and then you will rise up again. You start all over. You learn from those experiences, and then you grow. Someone once said, if you just get catapulted to the top, if anything happens, you're also going to fall in the same manner. But someone who takes time to grow step by step gets solidified, and then become stronger, because each step has its own experiences. Each step has its own peculiar challenges. By the time you overcome the challenge of this stage, you grow stronger, you become tough, and then you move to the next stage, and so on. Growth takes time. Always remember that. When you take a look at the way a child grows, those who have the child with them, probably you have a newborn baby. As a child is growing, those who have the child with them in the house may not notice the growth that is taking place in the life of this child, unless they take a very close look. Oftentimes those who come to visit, after a while, they notice this growth more than the persons who live with this child. But does that mean the child is not growing? The child is actually growing. Growth takes time. Always take notice of that. And then also, do you notice that when the child starts growing, First of all, the child learns to crawl, then the child will learn how to walk, and then the child will learn how to run. These are different stages of growth. So a child cannot just rise up and begin to walk without crawling. A child cannot just rise up and begin to run without crawling. Do you have a dream you're working on? Do you have a vision for your life, where you want to be in life, in the next couple of years to come? Remember, it will go through stages. It will go through, different stages, step by step. Don't get disappointed. Don't get discouraged because, you've not gotten where you need to be or where you want to be. At the stage where you are, focus on that stage. Get better, and then you move to the next stage. You get disappointment, you start all over again, you learn from the experiences, and you continue to grow. I want to end with this. When you look at the life of Jesus, he was born and came into the world for a purpose. But it took him 30 good years before he started his public ministry. What was he doing all that period? All that period was a time that was not wasted. It was a time of growth. You remember when he was presented in the temple, after the parents took him away from the temple, it was recorded that the child grew in wisdom and strength and found favor in the sight of God and in the sight of men. Growth takes time. So he took time to grow, and then at 30, he started the ministry, which lasted for only 3 years. So for 30 good years, he was preparing for an activity that lasted for only 3 years. Talk to athletes, how long they take to practice for a competition that may just last for how many minutes? So this is very important. We must realize that the time we spend to grow, the time we spend to grow our craft, the time we invest on what we are doing to become better, that time is never wasted. That is the time for growth. Give your best shot at those periods of growth, those stages. Growth takes time. Till I see you in the next video, keep putting in your best to ensure that you grow your craft, you work on your vision, you work on where you are going. Invest time, because that time you are spending to invest on that thing you're doing, it is never wasted. Do remember to subscribe to this channel if it has been a blessing to you. Remember that when you subscribe and share this video, you're helping to edify, you're helping to inspire another person's life. You're making a difference in the life of someone else. God bless you.